All right, we got lesson 12.3. We're going to look at the angles that are formed by tangents and chords. So we got a couple of new terms there. Our question is, if a diameter meets a tangent at the point of tangency, what type of angle does it make? And explain. All right, so first thing that we need to cover is tangent. Definition of a tangent is a line that intersects a circle at only one point. So what does that look like? This is a tangent. So here's a line. We've got our circle up here, and this line is just kind of kissing the circle right there at that one point, and then it just moves on. So we talked about that point where it's touching. We call that the point of tangency. Now a chord is kind of like a diameter. A diameter is a chord, but any chord is where a segment has both of its endpoints on the circle. So here's point D that's on the circle, here's point C on the circle. So we would call DC a chord. Not chord, it's a chord. So here's a chord right here because both of the endpoints are on the circle. So that means a diameter would be a type of chord. And then we've got a tangent, which is where the line is only touching at one point. So a chord touches the circle at 2 points, but a tangent only touches it at 1 point. All right, let's look at these two angles here. Here's angle 1 and here's angle 2. Both of them have a vertex that's on the circle. Angle 1, its vertex is at D on the circle. Angle 2, its vertex is at D, it's on the circle. So when we had angles that touched the circle, we called those inscribed angles. So angle 1 and angle 2 are inscribed angles. Now what do we know about inscribed angles? We know that it's half of the intercepted arc. So let's look at angle 1. I got hair all over that. All right, so angle 1, it's over here. The arc that it intercepts is D to C. So angle 1 would have to be half of that arc. Here's angle 2. What arc is it intercepting? Well, inside of here, we've got a major arc, DBC. So angle 2 would be half of that arc. So we know that angle 1 and angle 2 are 180 degrees. Why? Because that's a straight line. So what is the relationship? Oh, and angle 1 intercepts DC, and angle 2 intercepts CBD. So what's the relationship between the angles and the intercepted arcs? Well, it's inscribed, so they have to be half. Now look, this arc out here, DC, and this arc here, DBC, those make up the entire circle. And how many degrees does a circle have? 360. So this is 360 degrees. And then we already said angle 1 and angle 2 are 180 degrees. What's the relationship then? Well, it has to be half, meaning it's inscribed. So the angles are half of the intercepted arcs, meaning they're inscribed angles. We see that the arcs make up 360 degrees, and those two angles make up 180 degrees. 180 is half of 360. So that means those have to be inscribed angles. They're half. All right, so example 1, we're going to solve. There's a couple ways that you can do this. We know that this angle is 234, or this arc from here to here is 234. Therefore, one of the ways that we could solve for this inscribed angle here, because we got a tangent and a chord, one way we could solve for it is say, okay, that's 234, so I'm going to subtract from 360 and find out that this arc is 126. And if it's 126, this inscribed angle here made by the tangent and the chord has to be half of 126. That'd be 63. So that's one way to find out that x is 63. The other way that you could work from it is you can say, okay, this arc out here is 234. This angle here has to be half of it. Half of 234 is 117. And then 117 plus x make a straight line. So they add up to 180. So you can take 180 minus 117 and get 63 there. Both ways we did it, we got 63 degrees for x. So the two ways to do it were to find out that this was 126 because an entire circle has 360. So we took 360 minus 234 and got 126. And then we took half of 126 because that's an inscribed angle, got 63. The other way we did it is we said, okay, this arc is 234, half of that's 117, and then these two angles have to add up to 180 because this is a straight line. So I took 180 minus 117, got 63. Both ways again, we're getting the same exact answer. All right, next one. So on this one, I've got this inscribed angle. So it's made of a tangent and this chord over here, AC. And it's 14x plus 14. And then this major arc out here is 31x plus 4. So this is an inscribed angle, and the arc inside of that angle is 3x plus 4. So we know that two of these inscribed angles equals one of those intercepted arcs. So I did 2 times 14x plus 4. You have to double the 14x and the 14. Sorry, not 4, 14. So we double it. I subtracted 28x from both sides and got 3x. Subtracted 4 from both sides and got 24. And then I divided by 3 and got 8. So it says find ABC. ABC is this part out here. So I plug in 8 right there. 31 times 8 is 248. Then plus 4 is 252. And I find my major arc out there. All right, that's pretty much what this section does. Enjoy. Bye-bye.